Today we'll be exploring the tree of life. So before before you understand the tree of life, first of all, we have to explore how did life begin? How did it come about? How did existence come about? You have to understand, because for you to be able to understand the tree of life, you have to understand how existence all come about. So how did existence come about? It all started from nothing. That is, for instance, now like this blood now, blank, nothing, remove this writing, it's just blank. Then when you close your eye, the void you feel like is void. Everything manifested from void. That is from nothing, nothingness. So when the voice, so all of a sudden this voice gain awareness, and when this void gain awareness, there's something that happened. There was a blast, and this blast was light. This blast, that is when light grew. That is, as you see this board now, that is this thing I draw now. This splash you are seeing now is light. You see it, it's closed, it's light. This is where awareness begins. And this thing now, because that is when duality, for you to be able to know that something is white, you already know that black exists. For there to be truth, there must be false. For there to be male, there must be feminine. That is where all this is. So this light that came now gave awareness to the void. So when he gave awareness to this void, then what happened? This light, on a natural occasion, when you put light on something without, let me say, something that doesn't have air, no oxygen, nothing, what happens when the light hits? When this light start hitting, it start dissolving this void. This light start dissolving this void. And when this light start dissolving this void, it start forming into water. That is why when the earth begins, it begins with fire, water. That's why you see that before earth grew and air. You know, when this thing is dissolving and this thing is turning to water, then what naturally occurs? There will become a flow of air, either accumulated air or air that flows. Either one, because now that space between the water is where the air come in. Then earth grow from water. But yeah, here is to discuss the tree of life. So how did life come about? Life come about when this splash happened. Then what happened? This splash have to explore. It has to explore around this facility, because now it's just like the brain. The brain controls the part of the body. Just that is here. It controls every other place because it's the awareness. It controls, that is your awareness. If I cut away your hand, it won't affect your brain till I cut away your head. That is when you will stop. But if I cut your hand, you still be alive. If I cut up apart from you, so this is the brain, this is the body. So it has to explore. You can't just carry yourself and be moving and be exploring, because there has to be balance. So what will happen? It makes art. It starts exploring from. It starts creating itself. So it starts creating. So these things he created from himself. These are where the woman being existence started from. This is our energy. These are light beings. These are light being created. So you see they are descending. That is exploring. So don't forget that beings were created from here, and beings were also created when from water. Some manifested from water. Those that manifested from water are the ones that have, like, they likely have. That's when, because it's from water life started from. Because from this thing to dissolve, this dissolve, so that is not where we are, Yasha. I don't want to go into much detail, because that is this is another much. So it extracted itself, bringing out itself. Then it started giving birth from, started producing. Then these things you are seeing, they can produce. When they produce, that means they form another lineage from them. Then they can form another one, then form another one. Their children will still form. Then their children, with their children. So this one is this one. That is why you would say. That's why this thing lineage exists. When you are from a lineage, that means where your life grew from. So this one is different life. This one is different expression. This one is different expression. This one is different. But each of these expression has their own children. So when this one gives birth, when this one gives birth, it comes out from here. When this part gives birth, it comes out from here. When this part gives birth, it comes out from here. When this part gives birth, it comes out from here. When this one gives birth, when this cat gives birth, this one. So you see, as it stays extended, that is how it will keep it we keep extending. This one give birth, this one give birth, this one, this one. So not everything was made from, not everything you see was made from this light. The first creations that were made from this light, that is the stars, the suns, whatever, that is we that, so that is immortal. Whatever is made from this light is immortal. But whatever is made outside of this light is mortal. That is where water comes in. But that doesn't mean that they don't have consciousness. Everything you see have consciousness. But certain consciousness are tied to all. That is why I call it, I used to say the all, because this thing you are seeing now, that is, we all are inside of God. We all are inside of God, because we are just a extension of Him, exploring inside of Him. So when this lights, just like your family, when you give birth, like let me assume this is where your first lineage starts. Then this person give birth to this person, give birth to this person. This person starts his life journey. This person give birth. This person start. Then this one give birth. It start. This one give birth. It start. Then this one give birth. It start. This one give birth. It start. This one. Everybody on this journey. So the more you give. The more you give birth, the more your lineage you explore. The more you start. So let me say this person, once this person stop giving them, but that doesn't mean that this side. So there's always someone that will be multiplying from one end. And that is how we become. So this is how life originated. This is how life basically originated. Then this is like the first beginning before the inclination, before our inclination into this physical body we are. Because this light you are seeing was created. Because now, if you look at this thing can move limitlessly. It is not bound by anything. So it can explore ranks. So due to previous exploration, there need to be a bound. That is when Earth comes into the picture. When they dissolve it, because these people were having their life, and people in the water were having their life. Two different, because before the inclination, before these people, this was added, because those people that were made from water, those people that were made from water, those people that originated from water, that didn't originate from this, that originated after the desification, those people that originated, they can't be immortal, but they can preserve their life, they can renew life, but they're not immortal. So for them to be immortal, they need to train their soul and incarnate. They need to train their soul and like another thing again I want to talk about. There is what they okay, that will be another discussion. How entities, that will be another discussion. But this one is all about the tree of this one is all about the tree of life. Now I think like I'll make more explanation on this, because I won't lie, I'm already having scattered thoughts. This was not really how I planned to explain this video, but I'll come back again. But you just have to understand that all things migrated from one. So if your lineage want to be disappear, how your lineage disappear? Maybe nobody continues the life. But that would be another post. I don't want to go much deep. So this is just how the tree of life, how we origin. So and this is how information flows. So when information flow from here, they pass down to your lineage. So that means that is how you can channel. So when you can channel energy from here. If you can be, that is how human beings have power to channel energy. That is why we can we look like incredible intelligence, and we are kind of different from other species because we are made from here. But all these other species, that doesn't mean that we are more better off. Just that we are kind of, because now if these people are immortal, if people that were made from there are immortal, that means and their energy, their hot temper, they can destruction, chaos is a normal thing, because his energy is very high. It's very high. So the best thing to do is to trap all these things into body, to trap them into body, into this physical body you see. So, so your body, so there is a line, there is a visible line. That's why when someone die, it moves at a light speed because it just it's just something like just like a rubber band. Those rubber band they draw. That rubber band is drawing. Is drawing. It's a draw rubber band like those rubber band, those elastic. When you draw it like this, if you leave it, you see the speed it comes back. That is how when you leave the body, the speed is comes back. That is why the soul. It's when you leave the body, it's flash and go back. So yeah, and go back here. So this place now, so you know this. So if so now what we are the assignment now, the assignment now, I'm kind of saying yeah. What I'm kind of want to explore here now is here. I believe here. I believe when we leave this body, because before I used to think when we leave this body that we normally come back here. But from the look of things, we don't come back. There is somewhere these things, this exists. But I feel like I will have a part two on this show of life. I will have part two on this because now I have to go and sit down and think more. Because I'm seeing new puzzles to solve because the more I explain, the more I touch on all these matters, the more I discover more and I explore more. So this will be the end of this part till I look and when I rewatch this video, I will see things I left out because I know I'm leaving out a lot of information. I don't know why, but I know that I'm not explaining this the way the information came to me in my head. So but I believe you understand. Just know that everything originated from one place. Then when you have a family, because this is your lineage, when your lineage, when your like this is your father, let's say this is your first father, your first lineage, then this lineage give birth to another, then give birth to one, give birth, then this person now give birth now to another, give birth to another, then this person give birth, then this person give birth, then this that is how we just keep going. We just keep going. We just keep going. Like root. Like this root give birth to this root give birth to this root, this root give birth to this root, this root give birth to this. But they're all one line. They're all one line. So this cord, one cord might actually be one cord of woman. Like this cord, one cord can actually be one cord of woman. One cord should actually be one cord of but I know that anything that is from here is immortal. And I know that so I believe that and this is where angels were carved out from this world, from this light. This is where this is where creation happened. This is where the masculine energy reside. Then the feminine energy is the dissolved part. That is why feminine energy is soft and masculine is ash. So because this is the feminine is the dissolved. It's dissolved that turn into water. The masculine is the what they salt it. So that's why sometimes even though it's getting long. See you guys in my next video. About the girls as a thing, so that as above, so below, the master of mind and ether.